Yo, what's good? You tapped in with Latin 209, the spot where the real ones ride, the fakes hide, and the truth stays alive. Let's lock in, because it's about to get heavy. When you walk down certain streets in America, especially in the big cities, you see a sight that's hard to forget. People hunched over, bodies all twisted up, sores on their faces, skins, hands, legs, you know what I mean? And they look years older than their age. Some shuffle, some twitch, some talk to voices that nobody else hears. I didn't fuck around. And the question that hits your mind is simple. Why? Why are so many people like this? Why are so many of our brothers and sisters living on the streets, trapped in drugs, slowly dying in front of our eyes? It didn't start there. Nobody wakes up one day and says, I want to be homeless.
Someone calls for claiming that they did anything.
Or I want to be addicted today. I want to lose everything. Yeah. That's what I want to do today. No, it's a chain of events, pain, trauma, choices, circumstances. Some people come from broken homes, abuse, neglect, violence. Others come from war, soldiers who came back with memories that haunt them. Some lose their jobs, their families, and one wrong turn into drugs becomes a cage they can't escape. And then there's the drugs themselves. The stuff out there today isn't like what it used to be. Fentanyl, trank, meth, chemicals so strong they hijack the brain, hijack the body. They eat away at the flesh. They rot people alive. That's why you see those open sores, why you see people hunched, twitching, moving like zombies, all throughout the street. It's not that they wanted that. It's that once that poison entered their system, it grabbed a hold and it doesn't let go easy. Society too plays its part. We build cities of wealth, skyscrapers reaching for the sky, but at the bottom of those towers, people are sleeping on the concrete. Some say it's their fault. They chose drugs. They chose the streets. But is it always that simple? What about the mental health crisis? What about veterans who fought for the country and came back broken, untreated? What about kids who grew up in poverty, never given a chance? Introduced to drugs by the very neighborhood that raised them. And here's the truth: once you fall into homelessness, the climb back out is like climbing a mountain with no rope. No address means no job applications. No job means no money. No money means no stability. Add drugs into the mix, and now it's a spiral. One hit to numb the pain, then another, until the body is just surviving for the next fix. And you look at them and you might think, they're gone, they're lost. But every one of those people had a story before the streets. They had names, dreams, families. That man hunched over once had a mother who prayed for him. That woman with the sores once dreamed of being a teacher or a nurse. That teenager shuffling barefooted once laughed at school dances. These are not just homeless addicts, these are people. And somewhere along the way, the world chewed them up and spit them out.
Someone calls for claiming that they did anything.
The drugs we see today, they don't just take the mind, they take the body, they eat it. We see sores because the chemicals are literally toxic, corroding the flesh. You see the hunch because the nervous system is fried, sort of like my brain, just a little bit. You see the eyes glazed over because the soul is drowning in chemical slavery. It's not Hollywood. It's not a movie. It's real life in our neighborhoods, outside our stores, in our parks. And it's everywhere from California to New York, from small towns to big cities. The opiate epidemic, the meth crisis, the fentanyl wave, it doesn't care about race, class, or background. Rich kids, poor kids, veterans, working moms. Addiction doesn't discriminate. And when it hits, it is it doesn't just destroy the user, it destroys the families. It leaves mothers crying, children confused, neighborhoods unsafe. So why so many? Because pain is everywhere, because trauma is everywhere, because access to deadly drugs is easier than access to affordable housing or mental health care. Because once you fall, the system doesn't catch you, it leaves you. I didn't fuck around. Now let me flip this because while the problem is massive, the story doesn't end in hopelessness. Yes, there are people hunched, broken, addicted, but there are also stories of recovery. People who climbed out, people who found healing, people who were once on the streets, but now they're standing tall, clean, working, rebuilding families. And even if one can make it out, that means it's possible. Hope is real. Recovery is real. Faith is real. I've seen men who were lost in heroin for 20 years find freedom through programs, through God, through the love of people who didn't give up on themselves. I've seen women who sold everything for the next hit, now running shelters to help others. I've seen the power of community, churches, rehab centers, neighborhoods stepping in and saying, "You are not forgotten." And that's the message here. You might walk by someone today who looks gone. Don't just see an addict, see a person, because behind that hunched body is a soul that can still rise. Behind those sores is a spirit that can still heal. Behind those eyes is a story that can still be written. And maybe you're listening and you're battling addiction yourself. Maybe you've slept in your car. Maybe you've used to numb the pain. Hear me. You are not too far gone. Your story is not over. If you're breathing, there's still time. God's grace, His mercy, His power, it doesn't care how deep you've fallen. It cares about lifting you up. So don't lose faith in people. Don't lose faith in yourself. And don't lose faith in God. The streets don't have the final word. Addiction doesn't have the final word. Death doesn't have the final word. Life does. And if we want to change the picture of our streets, it starts with compassion. It starts with seeing people not as throwaways, but as brothers and sisters. It starts with choosing to love when it's easier to ignore. Because light always drives out darkness. Always. So the next time you see someone hunched and broken, remember that's someone's child, someone's parent, someone's dream deferred. And with the right help, with faith, with love, they can rise again. The check game. Knowledge is power, but wisdom is survival. This is Latin Act 209. Salute. I'm out. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.
When it got bad, I ain't call nobody. Just poured another glass, tryna numb my body. Whiskey on my lips, cocaine in my veins. Feeling good for a moment, but it don't kill the pain. Lying slow, music drowning out the truth. Shadows turn to that bottle, I turn to them lines. Feeling so high, like the world was mine. Everything good, at least it seemed that way. But the devil in the night always makes me pay. In the dark where the demons play, I smile like I'm fine, but it's smoke in the air. Can't nobody see the weight that I bear. Tears in my chest, but the glass stay full. Every white line almost that I know ain't true. Lost in the haze, praying for the sun, but the night always wins when the hurt don't run. I turn to that bottle, I turn to the lines. Feeling so high, like the world was mine. Everything good, at least it seemed that way. But the devil in the night always makes me pay. False kind of heaven, a borrowed escape. But the morning comes cold with the guilt and the shakes. I chase what I know gonna cut me deep, but in that moment it's the only peace. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's all understood, but deep in my soul, I know it ain't all good.